Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever bought a beautiful bouquet of flowers, brought it home, and then just watched it sadly give up and die in like 2 days? It is so frustrating. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It's probably not your fault, and it is almost always fixable. Today, we're gonna fix it for good. So what's really going on here? Why do those amazing blooms turn into a droopy, depressing mess almost overnight? Well, it turns out your flowers are actually fighting a war on two fronts. They're facing a coordinated attack from a couple of invisible enemies. And here they are. Meet the two villains of our story, the thirst and the ripener. So on one side, you've got bacteria building up and creating these tiny traffic jams inside the stems, literally stopping them from drinking. And on the other side, there's an invisible gas in your house that's basically hitting the fast forward button on their lifespan. To win, you've got to defeat them both. All right, first up, let's go to war with the thirst. This is all about hydration and, believe it or not, basic hygiene. We need to make sure your flowers can actually drink the water that they're sitting in. Now, your first weapon in this fight is how you cut the stems. And this right here is probably the biggest mistake almost everyone makes. Do not use your kitchen scissors. They just crush the delicate little vessels that suck up water. You need a pair of sharp bypass pruners. You're going to snip 1 to 2 inches off the bottom at a really sharp 45-degree angle. And you've got to do this every couple of days. Seriously, this is non-negotiable for long-lasting flowers. And here's why that cut is so critical. Think about it. If you use dull scissors, you're not just crushing the stem, but a flat cut can get sealed right against the bottom of the vase. It's like trying to drink through a pinched straw. That simple mistake can block up to 70% of water getting into the flower. That sharp 45-degree angle, that's what gives it the maximum surface area to drink. Okay, but what if you've made the perfect cut and your flowers still look thirsty? Well, then you're probably dealing with something called bacterial occlusion. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just when bacteria in the vase water create this gross, slimy film that clogs up the flower's internal plumbing. So the poor thing is literally dying of thirst, even though it's sitting in a vase full of water. And don't even think a quick rinse with water is going to cut it. The research on this is kind of shocking, actually. A vase that just looks clean to you and me, it could be hiding over 1 million bacteria per square inch and all those tiny microscopic scratches. 1 million! You have to physically scrub that vase with hot, soapy water and really sanitize it between every single bouquet. And this is exactly why the type of vase you use really matters. Plastic is basically a magnet for bacteria. It's porous, it gets scratched up so easily, and those scratches become permanent little homes for that slimy biofilm. Glass, on the other hand, is non-porous, it's super easy to get it truly clean, and hey, you can see when the water's getting low. The pros are clear on this. Make the switch to glass. Okay, so we've solved the drinking problem. Let's move on to our second enemy, the ripener. This one's tricky, because you can't see it, you can't smell it, but it could be silently aging your flowers right now. We're talking about something called ethylene gas. It's a totally natural plant hormone that tells fruit to ripen and flowers to, well, decay. When your beautiful bouquet is exposed to it, it's like it gets a text message that says, time to get old now. It puts their whole life cycle into hyperspeed. So where's the biggest ethylene factory in your house? You're looking at it. Your fruit bowl. Bananas and apples are the worst offenders, just pumping this stuff out. But you also got to keep your flowers away from direct sunlight, heat vents, and even cooking fumes from the stove. All of those things speed up the aging process. Where you put your vase is a huge strategic decision. I love this quote from a master florist because it just gets right to the point. They're not being dramatic here. For really sensitive flowers like lilies or carnations, the ethylene from a nearby fruit bowl can literally make them drop all their petals in less than 24 hours. A gas chamber. Wow. All right, you've totally got the basics down now. You know how to cut for hydration and where to place your vase for protection, so let's level up. Let's talk about a couple of pro-level tactics that will get you those truly spectacular florist-quality results. And look at this. This is what happens when you fight both enemies at the same time. I mean, you can read the data, but the pictures tell the whole story, don't they? The roses up top were treated with a special flower food that has both a germicide to kill bacteria and an ethylene inhibitor. The ones on the bottom just got plain water. The treated flowers lasted over 4 days longer and just look so much healthier. It's absolute proof that this two-pronged attack is the key. And remember, one size doesn't fit all. Different flowers have their own little quirks. You know how roses get that sad bent neck? That's dehydration. They need deep water. Tulips, they actually keep growing in the vase, which is kind of cool, so you need a tall vase to support them. And hydrangeas, they are so thirsty they even drink through their petals. Misting their heads with a little water every day is a total game changer for them. So really what this all boils down to is this. You just can't have a set it and forget it attitude with flowers. The difference between a bouquet that lasts a week and one that lasts 2 weeks, it's a simple 2-minute check-in every morning. You can do it while your coffee's brewing. Just look at the water. Is it cloudy? Pull out any blooms that are past their prime. Top off the water. That's it. So let's bring this all home. If you only remember one single thing from all of this, I want it to be this. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about taking care of your flowers. Flower care is proactive, not reactive. You see, you can't really bring a flower back from the dead once it's already wilted and dying. But by using the right cut, keeping your vase squeaky clean, and picking a safe spot for them, you can prevent almost all of the problems before they even have a chance to start. By fighting the thirst and stopping the ripener, you're not just hoping your flowers last anymore. You're actually taking control. So, take a second and think about the last bouquet you had. Now that you know the secrets, which one of these mistakes are you going to fix first?